I'm Kim Castro, your painting instructor. Today we're excited to start another brand new painting. So let's get started. Get your brushes out, your paint, your easel, and this is the one we're going to do today. So let's sit down, relax, and have fun doing it. And welcome to Kim Castro Art. We're going to do another wet on wet landscape painting in oil. We're going to use a 16 by 20 canvas, and we're going to try to do a little bit more of an autumn scene instead of a winter scene. So first thing I'm going to do is I'll be running the colors and what you need across the bottom of the screen here, or across the screen, is we've got our wet on wet white background here, and that's all done. So put your liquid white on, or whatever, there's another name for it too, liquid white, and then there's another white that you can use, whether it's Alexander or Bob Ross, whatever. We're going to go into our phthalo blue. We're going to add some white to it. As you can see, there's a big difference in the colors over here. That's why I'm making the camera shot so you can see both. I'm just going to get a little bit, not much. I'm just going to tap it into the bristles. And we'll start at the top very lightly. And I don't want it to be too prevalent. It might get underneath these little bumps of mine on my easel. If you got an easel like mine, then you want to make sure you get some paint up there. And just bring it down, maybe about a quarter of the way down. About like so. And you probably won't even need much more than what you put on the brush, because you can leave some white spots in there, whatever, if you want to. A little bit darker on the ends here. Just have like some darkness in there too. We're going to be putting some clouds in here too, and things like that. Maybe just about right to about there. Just kind of spread it out real good. About like so. Okay, I'm also going to put in just a tiny little bit of that down at the very bottom. Then you have to go all the way across. You can go across if you want to, but it doesn't have to. And that's probably about all we're going to do, is a little bit on the bottom, about like so. Maybe just a tiny bit more, about like so. Just an eighth of the way up, I guess you could say, something like that. And then I guess we're going to go ahead and stop about right there. I'm going to keep the same brush aside. I'm going to get a clean brush, which you can wash yours, whatever you want to do. And I'm going to get me some of this crimson, alizarin crimson, just a little bit. And I'm going to start with right about here. Just put a little bit of crimson in there. You can mix up in there with the blue a little bit if you want to. Just a little bit. I just want it to have that nice little crimsony color in there. Just a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. Just a little bit. I tend to make it just a little bit darker here in the middle. About like so. And I'm going to wash the brush. And I'm trying not to wash brushes while you guys are watching, so I'm going to pause it real quick. Alright, so now I've got the brush wash, and I'm going to go ahead, and I've got some yellow ochre. I just put some yellow ochre out, just a little bit of cad yellow, so it's mostly ochre. A little bit of cad yellow just to lighten it up a little bit. Then I've added just a little bit of cad red, just to make it an orangey color. And then I'm going to take, and I'm going to come in right below, right in here, and I'm going to put in this same color. Right there. About like so. And I'm going to just bring it down a little bit. And as you see, you don't want to get too much on your brush. As it comes down, it's going to lighten up. And that's what you want it to do. And on the same brush, I'm just going to go to the cad yellow by itself. And I'm just going to come in with the yellow. Like so. Just like that. And I'm going to bring that yellow right down into here. We're going to have some water in here, so I'm going to put a little bit of yellow right there. And that's all we're going to do. And then we're going to take a clean, dry brush. I've got one right here. And then we're going to blend this really carefully, starting in the middle. Don't touch that blue yet. I almost did. Just blend it out. Blend it down first a little bit. Blend it down all the way across, like so. Okay, and then we'll come up and we'll blend right into that crimson. Then we'll just keep going with it. We'll get a little bit of a yellowish tint in that up there, and that's fine. And you'll get your brush, some blue on your brush here probably. And you can bring it down a little bit. But you want to be careful because that will turn it green if you get into that yellow too much. So you want to stay out of that yellow as much as you can. Just take some of that blue and bring it down a little bit. Just kind of tint the sky down here at the bottom. It's going to be light, but just want to tint it up a little bit. Not like so. Maybe you can get just a tiny little bit of blue and put in the middle here. We won't be worried too much about that. But we're going to be getting some colors off the rest of the shores and the bankings and stuff like that. Just a tiny little bit, not much. And that kind of looks like a bunch of stripes basically. That's what we're looking for. Okay, I'm going to clean some brushes. Alrighty, now, if you haven't, I wanted to bring up the Patreon for just a minute while we're getting ready here. We're going to do a mountain mixture, and that's just going to be some black, equal parts of black, Van Dyke brown, and burnt umber. But I want you to put a little bit of extra blue in it. A little bit of extra blue. I want to have the mountains to be just a little bit more bluish in color. But anyway, let's go back to the Patreon. I'd really appreciate you if you all sign up for Patreon. We do have one member anyway. And it really does help a tremendous amount because that's what helps buy the paint and the canvas that I use. And for me to keep going, I really could use the help in that. It's only $1 a month for the basic membership, and every dollar helps, that's for sure. And I certainly do appreciate anyone that would join up. I know some people can't afford it, but if you can, I definitely would appreciate it. So let's go back to the mountain mixture. We've got a mountain mixture. We're going to start our mountains right about here, and what we'll do is we'll start in maybe about a third of the way over maybe, and we're going to have this one kind of straight up. About like so. And you can make your mountains really pretty much anywhere you really want to. But I'm going to do it like this. And I'm kind of going to come right straight down with it. About like so. Actually, I think I'm going to come up here a little bit higher. About like so. And I'm going to come straight on down. About like so. I want it to be a little bit bumpy there on the edges. I don't want it to be too straight. I want it to look like a mountain, you know. And we're going to bring this mountain probably this way a little bit more. About like so. She's got plenty of paint. Like so, and we have a little brother for him right about here. I sometimes will take the paint off. I know I'm going to be taking the paint off anyway, and I'll just take some off the other part and use it. Maybe something like so. It'll come down a little bit here maybe, and maybe a little bit more, like so. Then another little guy right here. And you see this particular board here, I'm not using a canvas, I'm using a canvas board. you can see the difference right here, because it's actually, this one's kind of rough. I probably should have put some gesso on it first, because it would have smoothed it out a little bit more. So come this way some, and then we'll have maybe a small one right here. Not like so. Not like that. Okay, and then let's go on the other side here, and we'll do the same thing. We'll just get another mountain about right here. About like so. And maybe we'll bring it over that way a little bit. Like so. Don't need to be perfect, but like that. That's fine. Okay. Now I know it looks a bit small, but you'll see why in just a minute here. We're going to actually add some more mountains. We'll take a brush and we'll start over here and we'll grab it and we'll pull it this way. Like so. Grab it right here. Pull it down. Now if you want to, I already scraped mine off, but make sure you scrape your mountains off first. Get some of that loose paint off them. Grab this one over here, like so. I probably could have got a little bit more loose paint off, but I didn't. But that's good enough. Okay. Okay, now let's go ahead and I want to scrape a little bit of that off, I guess. Get your mountain mixture here. You've got that already done, so we'll save that, and we'll actually use that for the trees later. So go ahead and save that. We're going to go ahead and come over here, and we're going to get some of this with the Van Dyke brown, and we're going to get some white. And we're going to mix up some different brown shades of brown. And what we're going to do is we're going to have some darker browns, some lighter browns, and I'll actually use a little bit of this burnt umber too, and make another shade with the burnt umber. It's going to be just a little bit darker, tiny bit of white in it, very, very tiny little bit. And we'll start with just this darker stuff here. We'll just start bringing them down very lightly. Kind of let it bump around in there a little bit. You don't want it to be too gobby. You don't want it to gob it all up or anything like that. I'm just trying to get some darker spots in there a little bit. We can add more later if we need to. I'm just kind of putting them in about wherever I want them, that's all. Some of that brown in there. And maybe we'll put some on the left sides for a change instead of on the right off. Get some of them darker edges on the left side, like so. So we get them on the right side too, because these are definitely some different kinds of cliffs, and I'm trying to get a little bit on both sides, not a lot, but a little bit. And I'm not going too far down. I'll clean my knife off. Then I'm going to go ahead and get some of this lighter brown color. And I'll go ahead and I'll just put just a little bit here and there, not a lot, just a little bit, very lightly. Just going to bring it just down like so. However you want them, it doesn't really matter, it's up to you. It's your mountains, you can put them up there any way you want. And I'm just kind of going along with it here and there. Maybe I'm going to just leave the left side alone mostly. See, I'm pulling that paint off, so I had too much on the knife, basically. I didn't have a good roll of paint there. Just get yourself a good roll and put it on. Like so. And my paint's actually a bit thick because I let it sit overnight. I tried to do a different painting last night and I'm using some of the same paint. So it's giving me a little bit of a hard time. It is one of the things that you deal with when you're an artist. You learn how to adapt all that stuff. I'll put a little bit over here. Like so. Okay, we'll wipe the knife off. And we'll go ahead and we'll grab us some white now. And you can even tint it a little bit blue if you wanted to, but I'm not going to right now, but I might do some a little bit of blue here and there. Like so. Wipe your knife off and using that white. Probably usually a good idea to do that. There's a little bit of white up in here. And maybe some up in here a little bit. Bring this one right over here like so. Maybe some in here. A little bit there. And I think we've got a little bit on the left side. Tiny little bit. Over here. Okay, I went over that one. What I'll do is I will just take my knife and pull it down again like so. Right over the top of it. Just like that. Okay, we'll take the loose paint off like that. Go ahead and get your nice clean dry brush. Make sure it's good and clean. And go ahead and tap the bottom. As you know, what we're doing is we're making the illusion of mist. We want the illusion of mist. And we'll see what happens. And if we need to, what we'll do is we'll mist it up a little bit first. And it may not be as much mist as I want. So what I'm probably going to do here is I'm going to wipe my brush off nice and clean as much as I can. And I'm going to grab a little bit of white. I'm going to just tap into the white, and I'm going to tap some white in here. Just tap the white in. Maybe a little bit more. Tap some more in. Otherwise it's going to turn brown on you. You don't want the brown. You just want it to be misty and have some white in there too. Like so. Just keep tapping and tapping until you get it where you want it to be. You want that nice misty look. right up over that mountain if you want to. Right up in there. Like so. Clean your brush off. Now I'm going to get a clean brush because this one's dirty. What I'm going to do is I'm going to very lightly pull up from the bottom with the green, very, very lightly. Just pull up a little bit, very gently, very, very gently, just like so. And then very, very lightly, right over the top, just like so. Blend it right out, not like so. Come down from the sky with it a little bit. Otherwise you'll get a mess there and you don't want that. Okay, we'll blend that right out, like so. Alright, there we go. Okay, anybody notice that we forgot something? Well, I did when I stopped for a short break here. We forgot to put some clouds in. So what I'm going to do is, we can still put them in, never too late. I'm going to actually use this small number 2 fan brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to load it with some white paint. Now I would like to have had some a little bit closer here, but I don't think that's going to happen. So what we're going to do is I'm going to get somewhere close to it, and I'm going to just tap in a cloud. Very gently tap it in. Not like so. Okay? I'm going to load my brush again. And we'll go ahead and I'm going to put another one in right here. Not like so. Just little floater clouds is all they are. And I think we'll put another one maybe up in here. Not like so. And we may have another one kind of flopping around about right there. Go this way. And probably one coming over about right here. About like so. And the way we're going to handle this is you clean your brush. Because normally you wouldn't have to worry about the mountains. Now we do. So get your brush good and clean and make sure you get it nice and dry as you can possibly get it. Get it really, really dry. Use the same fan brush, and we're going to use that little motion on the bottom, just across the bottom, very gently. You just want to spread it out a little bit right in there, very carefully. And I got a little bit of a color right here, which I didn't really want, but I didn't get much choice of it now, so it's going to be a little bit of a colored cloud. But that's okay. So be careful. Very gently go across the bottom. Like so. Wipe your brush off after you do each one of them. Like so. And continue on. With your brush. We already did this one, I do believe. We'll go to this one. Very carefully. Not too much to worry about over here. And then we'll do the bottom one. About like so. And then what we'll do is clean that brush. We'll be using it again anyway. Very, very gently. Nice dry brush. And you want to be very careful. Very, very lightly. Just go across the top a little bit. Well, the whole cloud is fine, but you got to be very, very careful. I'm only brushing one way. I'm brushing to the right, like so. That's all I'm doing. Brushing it to the right, like so. Okay. Now with the same brush, I'm going to tap into the white paint really good. I don't want a lot of white paint, but I want to go ahead and I want to put some of these little floaters in here like this. Little floater clouds. You probably have to reload a number of times, but just let them kind of float in there. Get some more paint. And some more floaters in, maybe in here, maybe way down into these other clouds. Like so. Some make them a little bit whiter, some of them lighter, and whatever. It's up to you, however you want them to be. Make them thicker, bigger, smaller, makes no difference. Right down into the other colors here is fine. Just remember, you're going to have to be able to go over the top of these, so you don't want to get them too close to the mountains. You just tap it in. Some more here. I got some darker color there. I want to get rid of that, so I'll just tap it out. Tap out these here. Maybe one over here. Okay, so I got this little spot here. I gotta get rid of that. A little bit thinner on there. Just rub it. That's all you gotta do. I want a little bit more white over here. It to be a little bit whiter. Lighten it up some. Not like so. Okay, it's a clean, dry blending brush. We'll do it the way we're supposed to do it. And we'll come right underneath the clouds a little bit. In the corner of the brush. And just blend it in. Blend them in. Very, very gently. But, watch out for that blue. It kind of sneaks up on you right there. It doesn't seem to affect that much. I kind of like it. And then happy accidents. Blend in. Okay. Then make sure you probably have to wash the brush again. Okay, I got the brush nice and dry again and clean. And now we'll go ahead and we'll just fluff them up a little bit. Fluff it up a little bit. Just give it a little tug up. Like so. On the very tops. Give me a little bit of a fluff. A little bit of a fluff. And go right over the top of it. And you may have to take your easel, like mine here, has to come up a little bit. And I can fluff it up a little bit better. Go right over the top. Very gently. Very gently. Very gently. Just like so. And this is a great time for filling in that line you get up on the top for the sky there, like that. And I'll show you how to take the same time and hit the bottom. Make sure, because if we frame it, we want to make sure we don't have them white spots down there or anything. We want it to be the right color. Okay. Okay, I brought the camera in closer so you can get an idea of about what it should be looking like about now. And so I'll leave it there for a minute so you can take a good look and pause it and compare it to what you've got going on your painting. Okay.